So you'll notice that I see some motions out there. Yes, the applaud emoji. We're using that a lot these days. Thank you very much. That's one of the things that's different between the mandolin and the violin per se is that we have in the violin, we got a bow so we can have a long connected sustained notes. But in the mandolin, which has its origins in sort of Greece and then during the Baroque period in Italy and throughout Europe, we had to develop this method using a plectrum or a pick, which used to be sort of a feather, using a feather or some kind of other implement to create this sort of picking against the strings in order to create sustain. And so this thing that everybody associates with the mandolin, which is this back and forth motion, which is called tremolo, all creates the illusion of sustain. So you hear that a lot used in slower tunes or different kinds of tunes from around the world. The next one I'm going to play is called La Partida, which is a pretty famous tune from Venezuela. And it also has I guess in Venezuela, everybody is pretty familiar with this tune, but my former bandmate and mandolin teacher, John McGann, taught it to me, and it's slightly different from some versions that are played out there. Again, it's in a minor key, and we'll launch right into it. Yeah, so we're going to move on to Italy. This has a very lively and sort of uplifting sounding name in Italian, which I don't speak, but Speranze Perdute, but really it means lost hope. And I only say to you folks that you can set that aside, because after hearing this tune, I don't think there's any way we could be without hope. And this is a 4-part tune. Before I was playing a little bit, and Robin Rylett and Susan Tran and Corey were saying, oh, it makes me hungry for some pasta. Clearly everybody associates the mandolin with sort of fine Italian dining. And I would have to agree. But this is really kind of a wonderful tune. I'll try to do it some justice, and you'll hear all the sort of different ways that it uses the strengths of this little instrument. Mm. Speranza perdut. Right. So how we doing on time? We're at 12:17. We're still good. I thought next I would play a couple of English country dance tunes. The first one is called Knoll Park, and the second one is called Shrewsbury Lasses. They're two of my favorites. I'll play them a little faster than English country dancers could dance to, but for a very brief little history lesson, English country dancing, if people know, contra dancing is sort of the precursor to that. Collected tunes in England from 1651. Again, through the Regency period, if you think about some of the dancing they would have done in Jane Austen's time, these were Regency era English country dances. So at Mr. Darcy's, if they're throwing a ball, those set dances for socializing with those tunes are English country dance tunes. And one of the things that the folks that know about English country dancing, especially our dancing master, Rob Spivey, who teaches English country dancing at 317 Maine when we are dancing together, is that hardly ever are those dances and those tunes accurate in the film versions of those things. But these are definitely English country dance tunes from the 17th, 18th century. First one is Knoll Park. But it's important to be in tune, at least after all, this is Maine public. I'm adhering to the standards of Robin Rylett. And Shrewsbury. Oh, look at that. It looks like Mom's on. Yeah, and my mother is, how old are you, Mom? 78, and she's like using the emojis perfectly. Nicely done. Oh, and there's Dad too. Thanks. They're in Philadelphia. So this is one of the great things actually about this time is anybody can connect with anybody no matter where they are, even though we're virtually connecting. Okay, I'm going to play, we have time for a couple more, I think, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of the, this is sort of a diversion a little bit. Obviously, the mandolin's known in bluegrass, and I haven't really played any bluegrass tunes, and I'm probably not going to play a bluegrass tune. I'll give you a little taste of something. So these are fiddle tunes, right, that were definitely used in bluegrass, old time, and traditional contra dance music that all of us who play fiddle, mandolin, and guitars and other acoustic instruments would know. That was a little bit of a tune called Liberty. And then those of us who sort of got into bluegrass and old time music, and myself as a singer-songwriter, as somebody who writes tunes too, sort of stretched the boundaries a little bit in terms of what we considered to be part of the genre. And this is a tune that I wrote that I had recorded with my friend John McGann in the band Rust Farm that we had called Monkey Puzzle. And it's a twisted little fiddle tune. It's got some things in common with bluegrass and old time and fiddle music, but it does some rhythmic things that are a little different, and maybe the melody is a little more out there for those people that like their traditional fiddle music a little more conservative. I'll try to pull it off. I haven't played it for a while. Too many notes. I think that's too many notes for the radio. Now, I think we're going to end off now with a one song. Come on over here, Lorna. This is my daughter, Lorna Moore, who is at home from University of the Arts in Philadelphia. She's a third-year acting major and a wonderful singer. And we've actually, one of the nice things about being at home is we've been able to play some music together, being quarantined together here, sheltering at home. And we're sort of working up some stuff, and we be Facebook friends with us if you can. And we posted a bunch of videos up there. It's pretty laid back and relaxed, people. It's not too schmancy, but we're having a good time. So she's gonna sing one of our friends in Nashville. We lived in Nashville for 10 years. His name's Sarah Siskind. So this is called Do You Love an Apple? And we learned it from Sarah's version of this traditional Irish song. Beautiful. Thank you, Lorna.
Thanks.
So there we are. I think we did it. 12:29. What do you say, Susan?
Oh, that was so wonderful. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Lorna. And thank all of you for joining us for today's first Maine Public Tiny Screen concert. Member support makes the Tiny Screen series and all that we do possible. Please take care and be well.